Hi friends, Kris here with Through the Prism of Chrism from the porch swing out at the old house where my wife keeps her miniature horses. Comfortable out here. Hey, we're speaking on F-bombs for 2 weeks. Yesterday was find your friends, capital F. Today, forgive your foes. All of us need to forgive our foes. Now, I know there's some people don't have any foes. Jesus said that there are those that are well spoken of by all men. I know you don't have any problem at all, but for the rest of us that have foes, listen, sometimes we're foes because the devil just doesn't like you. Others are foes because they're enemies of righteousness. You have some foes that are just mean, ugly people that nobody could get along with. But there are others that you and I could have been friends with, but for whatever reason, we scared them off and made them foes. But anyway, we all have foes. What do we do? Forgive. Number one, the heaviest weight a person can carry is a grudge. You need to take that old heavy potato sack and throw it off your shoulders. You know, Jesus bore the cross and carried it on his shoulders so that we'd never have to carry any heavy burden. Somebody else said, you'll probably never hold a trophy as long as you're holding a grudge. Well, that's very true. As long as I'm holding this set of notes here for this sermon, I can't hold a trophy. I have to let go of this to be able to hold on to that. So you need to forgive your foes and let go of your past. Number two, to forgive is to forgive. In other words, to forgive or give before. You know, before you and I were even born, Jesus cried, "It is finished," from the cross. And he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Sometimes they do know what they do, but he's ready to forgive anyway. In fact, Psalm 85 or 86 and verse 5 says, "For you, Lord, are good and ready to forgive." Did you hear that? Ready to forgive. "And plenteous in mercy to all that call upon you in truth." And somebody says, well, I'd forgive him if that old booger had finally owned up to his wrong and apologized for what he said about me. Well, forgiveness does it regardless of the apology, okay? Number three, and in Colossians 3 and 13, before I say that, forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man has a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so forgive. If we'd remember that we were worthy of death and damnation, and yet he forgave the likes of us, we ought to be able to forgive others. Number three, forgiveness sets the prisoner free, and I find that the prisoner is me. Somebody said, yeah, I'd let that prisoner go if he'd apologize. But no, the real prisoner is you and I when we fail to forgive. And somebody wrote these words. Listen to this. The first to apologize is the bravest. The first to forgive is the strongest. But the first to forget is the happiest. You want the key to happiness? Forgive and forget. Somebody said, well, there's no way you can forget. I know the hardest thing is when a spouse has betrayed you or somebody at church that you run with has said something bad about you. You know, Judas went to church with Jesus. But he took the sop, rubbed it in the gravy, and handed it to him. And literally he was saying, if you just change your plot, I'm ready to forgive you right here and right now. Okay? Number four, if you're offended, don't rub it in, rub it out. I said rub it out. You know, we sing that song, rub it in, and people got bad stuff going. We just keep rubbing it in. We want to rub their noses in it. Don't rub it in, rub it out. In the Lord's Prayer, Jesus taught us to pray, forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. But look at that in the Amplified Translation. It says, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven, listen, left, remitted, and let go of the debts, and have given up resentment against our debtors. If it's true forgiveness, then you're even going to let the resentment go. I know that's hard to do, but here's what you have to do. Just consider the source, consider that it's past, reckon it dead, just as you've forgiven yourself. You got to forgive other people and realize that they are not a part of my future. My history is not a part of my destiny. I'm not going to rub it in. Don't expect me to ever say it ever again or bring it up one more time. Instead of rubbing it in, I'm going to rub it out. And you'll find out when you do that, you're going to set a prisoner free, and I'll find that the prisoner is me. Kris here with F-bombs. Only got a couple more to go, and we'll be done with this series. But please share this with others and invite other people to go to Prism with you. Amen. You're in my Prism cell. You're a part of my Prism camp. Let's say it that way. God bless you. See you tomorrow.